which you will recall, the first people that got out the map of everywhere to look, and this is where the shooter walked, and this is what happened, and here's our diagram of where everything took place, and he ran to the woods and he grabbed the gun, but we're not really getting too many details about where he got that gun from. We're just kind of told in the woods. And this person tells me, actually, the gun was found in the backyard of someone that I know. We all know each other. And it was found by a chicken coop. Like, you could describe it as a wooded area, but, it's pretty suburban here. And it was found by her chicken coop. The locals are theorizing. Again, we have no proof of this, but this is what they are saying, is that they're not being honest about the fact that the house right next door to where the gun was found is a mysteriously vacant home that is owned by the university itself, and that is where they believe that the true shooter ran to following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They think, and again, they're floating a theory here, that Tyler Robinson was instructed to merely drop off his gun, walks onto campus to simply drop off his gun at the chicken coop place. So I'm going to show you that. Do we have a map of that vacant property and where the gun location is found? And he says you'd have to be an insider to know that the general direction that person is running, even though they're very close, similarly would lead him to the vacant home that we've all kind of had questions about. It's kind of been vacant for a while. And actually where the gun is found, it's just two different places. So his theory is that Tyler Robinson, and this would definitely align with our decoy boy, right? I did it. Oh, actually, it turns out that I have child pornography, is that Tyler and Lance could have gotten mixed up in some deep internet stuff, which makes sense because, as we have learned, Lance is deep on the web, and that they were actually instructed, maybe they're getting out of the situation. Again, we are in full theory zone. I'm telling you what I'm hearing from locals. This is not Candace Owens' theory, but this would make more sense to me, that these were just guys that said, okay, if we found something weird on your camera or weird on your laptop, here's what you're gonna have to do to get out of this. Maybe they're being blackmailed or threatened, or you're gonna go to prison for a very long time. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this weapon and you're gonna walk this weapon and you're gonna leave this weapon right here, okay? And that's it. Then you're going to busy yourself elsewhere around, and we will tell you what to do next. That's their theory about Tyler Robinson, okay? And that then the real shooter is an entirely different person who actually went into what they would describe to be a safe house of sorts. Putting it out there, and I can tell you that we are now prodding that narrative and asking if you are a person who has any footage, and you have been instructed not to give any footage whatsoever. I don't know. I can't understand. If you own the property and it's yours, I don't know how they can tell you it's not yours anymore, since don't forget, Governor Cox said, it's all wrapped up. It's over. We've got him. Move on. I don't see how you showing us a Dodge Charger that you saw driving by would be problematic. So, yeah. If you know anything, please email tips@CandaceOwens.com. We are going to get to the BB that doth protest too much in just a moment. First, going to throw it to some of our sponsors. Riverbend Ranch, everyone, like I told you, has wanted to do something to try and heal and remember Charlie Kirk. My friends at Riverbend Ranch put together the following tribute to honor him. Take a listen.
We pay tribute to Charlie Kirk, and we celebrate the tremendous good he did in his life. Charlie courageously advocated for the sacred principles of freedom, constructive discourse, truth, family values, and common sense. He taught with humor and wisdom and backed up his beliefs with data and facts. He set a powerful example of reaching out and talking to those who disagreed with him. We mourn his passing, but what he taught us continues to resonate with even more power.
A message from all of us at Riverbend Ranch.
I actually met the owners of Riverbend Ranch with Charlie. We went out there and met them. Fantastic family. Also want to tell you guys about American Financing, because if you've been living on credit cards just to cover groceries, gas, and bills, you know those interest rates are brutal. So why keep paying that 20% or more to the banks when you could call my friends at American Financing? They have mortgage rates that are in the fives, and they are showing people every day how to keep more of their hard-earned money in their pocket and out of the hands of the credit card companies. Right now, American Financing is helping homeowners save an average of $800 a month by using their home equity to wipe out high interest debt with no upfront fees, no obligation, and just a 10-minute call to a salary-based mortgage consultant. And here's the kicker. If you start today, you could delay 2 mortgage payments, putting even more cash in your hands right away. So do not wait. Call American Financing now, 800-795-1210. That's 800-795-1210. Or visit americanfinancing.net/Owens. That's americanfinancing.net/Owens. Also telling you guys about Field of Greens because, look, I knew we all have 2 ages, our actual age, and then there's our body's internal biological age. What I didn't know is I've likely lowered my biological age without even knowing. And here's the thing. It's because Americans eat so many processed foods and not enough fruits and vegetables. Many people, perhaps most, are 10 plus years older on the inside than their actual age. A major university study suggests how to slow down aging. Participants slowed their aging by drinking Field of Greens. That's all they did. They didn't change their eating, drinking, or their exercise. They just had Field of Greens because each fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was doctor selected for specific health benefits. Cell health, heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism, even a healthy weight as well. I feel great knowing that Field of Greens can slow how quickly that I'm aging, and I encourage you guys all to join me. Swap your untested fruit, vegetable, or green drink for Field of Greens. Check out the university study, and you'll get 20% off when you use promo code Candace at fieldofgreens.com. Again, that's fieldofgreens.com, promo code Candace. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I've been through a lot of media attacks. You name it, I've been through it. This is another level. Okay, this is like, it's like there's a thirst there that I've never seen. They are all parroting the same talking points. They're clearly collaborating. I can tell you it's a Zionist attack. I've lived through enough of them. This is what they're like. And they all kind of say the same thing, slightly different. And the idea is to pile up and hope. And if people keep seeing the same thing, they'll just believe it's true. And of course, defending Bibi Netanyahu seems to be at the center of it all. That Zionists control a lot of publications in America. That is just a reality. We can even go through that. It's a little weird that I have never said throughout discussing this case, which I care very much about, that Bibi Netanyahu murdered Charlie Kirk. Kirk Carlson never said that. Megyn Kelly never said that. Dave Smith never said that. Instead, what we are doing is we are disputing Bibi Netanyahu's narrative that him and Charlie were on great terms and really friendly. He had just invited him out. And here's this love letter Charlie wrote. He heavily implied that. And he was saying way too much, too fast, and too soon. That didn't feel right. And we just wanted the truth to be out there. I don't know who specifically came out and said that Bibi killed Charlie Kirk. But now that he's for the second time denying that he is, people are going, what's actually going on here? This is weird. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I didn't feel compelled to come out and make 2 videos to tell people that I didn't kill him. That would be weird. Like, you would be like, Candace, that's very strange. Why do you feel like you need to say that? If Tucker Carlson had to make 2 videos saying, I didn't kill Charlie Kirk, you would go, that's weird. Megyn Kelly, I didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Why would she do that? Of course she didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Well, Bibi has come out, like I said, with his second statement, and we can listen to it. Take a listen.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago. One of my greatest joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel and forming alliances with Jews to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. He encouraged me to make the case directly to the American people about how vital Israel is to U.S. national security. He told me, the Holy Land is so important to my life, it pains me to see support for Israel slip away. Now, if Charlie disagreed with a policy of mine or a decision here and there, not only did I not mind, I welcomed it. This is the essence of Charlie. This is the essence of a free country. It's exactly what Charlie stood for. And I knew that his suggestions always came from the heart, from his love for Israel and from his love for the Jewish people. A few weeks before his death, I spoke to Charlie. I invited him to visit Israel again, and sadly, that won't happen. Now some are peddling these disgusting rumors, perhaps out of obsession, perhaps with Qatari funding. What I do know is this: Charlie Kirk was a great man, and a great man deserves honor, not lies. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. May your memory be a blessing.
I don't know, guys. That Israeli propaganda just ain't hitting the same. It's just not hitting the same. I feel like it was hitting in 2018, but like this is just not hitting. Gaza's not helpful. You talking about a free country, Gaza just kind of being bombarded because you want to make a beachside place vacation for your friends. It's not feeling good. And we can see what you're doing. We do know you are a cold-blooded murderer. Looking at what's happening in Gaza, there's no question about that. How many kids have been murdered, okay? And you're, again, saying too much. I don't know why you don't seem to be able to get through a speech without lying or implying a lie. Who specifically, BB, is funded by Qatar? Maybe, don't just maybe Qatar. In fact, you are the one, your administration is the one that has been under investigation for taking money from the Qataris. It was actually related to Gaza. So, and what you were going to do with Gaza thereafter. So why are you saying that about Americans? If we were taking money from Qatar, it wouldn't be a problem according to your administration and your cronies. So what's this about? I was so hopeful that you would be able to get through that speech without mentioning the Holocaust, but that was kind of the opening liner. Joseph Goebbels said, bro, Joseph Goebbels has nothing on the Zionists in America and the propaganda that they have pushed. I got to tell you, that's the reality, okay? Let's go before him. Let's go to Sigmund Freud, how you guys created this system of propaganda. Who's the real father of modern propaganda? Okay, it's the Freud family. We're awake to this. We see what you guys are doing. And you're not making people feel comfortable with the fact that you keep coming out to have to deny something that certainly wasn't asserted by me on this program. And you're doubling down on your lie. I told you to publish the full letter that Charlie wrote you, not lines of it. Okay, it's a lie by omission. And to stop mentioning the fact that you invited him to Israel just 2 weeks ago without mentioning the fact that he declined to go. Am I lying? Can anybody actually work and assert that I am lying? You can say my name. Candace Owens lied. Charlie said, I'd love to go to Israel. Charlie said, I'd love to have you on my radio show. And for some reason, that seems to be a common theme, that they have sent the hounds out, but they're unable to actually dispute the words that are coming out of my mouth. You have Bill Ackman, extraordinarily. I said, I will publish whatever it is that you say, Bill. You can come on the program. We can talk about that trip to the Hamptons. He just kind of, which was, by the way, you guys on Instagram were so funny. I didn't even have to say anything. You guys just saw right through it because we're all awake. He just, I guess, shared text messages with Charlie Kirk to dispel the claims of, you see how it says, blackmail in parentheses, but they put Israel. I never said Israel blackmailed him. I never said that. Okay. And in fact, somebody that was at the Hamptons published a statement and said that Charlie said he felt morally blackmailed. Okay. So that doesn't help your case. But anyways, Bill Ackman published these private text messages, and I guess that was supposed to dispel the idea that anything happened in the Hamptons. And yeah, actually what's missing from these messages are like a date, a context, and they don't dispel anything that I have asserted. Okay, so what's going on here? Then they trot this guy out, Eric Bolling. He goes on the PBD podcast, and this should be embarrassing. Like, the amount of lies coming out of this man's mouth was astounding. Okay, but they ran with it. The New York Post, right, outfit of the Mossad, outfit of the deep state, ran with it. Charlie Kirk had a breakup with Candace Owens, like as if we were dating. Let's listen actually to what Eric Bolling had to say on the PBD podcast.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there in the room.
Reading it.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh, wow.
2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
So let's
you don't
without
have to do
even
this,
being
Adam.
biased.
There's a
Is Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question, proof that Candace Owens has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's
And
not.
now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is
So
their
the-
divide is.
Wait a
is
minute,
what-
not
is-
invited, meaning
She's not even there.
Yeah, she's not.
She's
She's
not
not
there.
one of the names
Wait,
that I.
you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No. I
That's
mean,
not the
heir,
funeral.
the heir to
Oh,
the
okay.
TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
I mean,
So that's just what it's so good for this to happen because you guys are watching everything that I'm saying and you can watch them lie. Eric Bowling, I just don't even get this one. How can you say that I have not spoken at a Turning Point USA conference in years when I literally went on tour with Turning Point USA on college campuses last year? Like that's just incredible. You didn't know that I went. I was on tour for Turning Point USA last year. You don't remember that happening at all. Okay, then I get fired from the Daily Wire. Turning Point USA is the first to issue a Christ is King statement of support. Then I do, what was it, the YWLS conference right after that. So let's just actually bring this in. What you are referring to, which is kind of a part of the story that we're telling you, is that the Zionists started circling Charlie and trying to control things. This was actually in the around September or whatever. And I was always very honest that Charlie and I had a conversation and they were putting pressure on him. You can't talk to her. She's talking about Israel, blah, blah. I said, Charlie, I am under so much fire right now. Do not even, I'm like radioactive. Don't even worry about the conference. I have to rebuild my whole life. I have to figure out how to get my podcast back on the road. I literally, I'm banned from Australia because I stood up to Zionists. Like I have so much going on. For me not to speak at AmpFest is nothing. Like that doesn't even mean anything. Save yourself, okay? It means nothing to me. Tell them whatever you need them to tell them. And I'm going to focus on trying to rebuild my life because they also had me canceled from YouTube. Remember all that stuff at the end of last year? It was insane. Then I came back bigger and I came back stronger because at the end of the day, the truth will win against lies. That's the message. And so the reality is that then they came inward because that's what Zionists do. They started putting more pressure on him. And this time they didn't want just Candace Owens. It was Tucker Carlson because Tucker went to AmFest. And then they said, that can't happen again either. And Charlie started realizing which way the wind was blowing. And in fact, in the very week that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he was saying that he wanted me back on the roster. That's where his mindset was at. You cannot dispute any of this because it's real. This is then suddenly he gets a Schulman guy is the one that said, I want my name off of the building at Turning Point in the 48 hours leading up to his assassination, the couple of days leading up to his assassination. They were squeezing him, trying to control who he was allowed to speak to. And that started in real earnest, I can tell you, in Q4 of last year. And then Charlie had enough. And I've got a lot more that's going to come out about what happened at Turning Point. It wasn't just that. They were spiking the ball, where they were spending the money. It was almost like they just wanted to take over the company that he had built and turn it into just another outfit of the Mossad. Like that's the information that I have, and I want to make sure that I properly vet everything and go through everything. That's what it looks like, and it's going to come out. Okay? So your little talking points and the lies, people can look up and research and see that's not true. And that's your big LOL point. Like, oh, well, the proof of this is she's not speaking at Charlie's honoring Charlie event in Arizona. And then they ask me these questions. They're like, when's the last time you spoke to Erica? Have you attended a Charlie Kirk? What is it? Can you pull up the weird thing? Because they're all running with these talking points. This is what we got from the Daily Mail. Is she planning to attend his memorial service in Arizona? Was she asked to speak? Or did she ask to be a part of the program? Why would I ask to be a part? Like this is obviously Erica is in like full control. I would hope she's in full control, but I don't know because I'm hearing some stories about donors that are pushing things. But let's reopen that. More questions here. Has she attended any of the vigils for him? Is she planning to attend? Does she speak to Erica? When's the last time they spoke? Board member Eric Bowling, by the way, he's not a board member, but that would have been a good fact check for you, PBD, said that Charlie Kirk had a quiet breakup with Candace Owens after she got too far down the rabbit hole for him. Has there been any communication between, if there hasn't been any communication between the two for many years, it's made up. It's just all made up. And like I said, the reason that they're doing this is because they want us to stop investigating the death of Charlie Kirk. I am convinced this is a full-blown Fed operation. I'm hearing about the pressure that's even happening with planning this event. They're trying to make it seem like, oh my, how dare she? Did you attend a vigil? Except with anything. No, actually, I didn't attend a vigil. And nope, you're right. You got me. I was not invited to speak alongside President Trump and J.D. Vance on the stage with Tucker Carlson at a memorial event. What does this have to do with anything? The answer is it has to do with nothing. They're working on a narrative like they always do. They're coming in, they're squeezing, and they're trying to pretend that Charlie and I didn't speak for years. It could not be further from the truth, okay? Charlie and I never for a single second stopped being friends, ever. Never happened. They can't produce one shred of evidence to that effect. Nope, just donors. And the donors at Turning Point need to be investigated because what I'm hearing, like I said, from Turning Point sources is not good. And guess what? If it's gotta be me and you need to hate me forever, that's totally fine. On top of that, talk about a federal operation out of nowhere. Brigitte Macron just lies. I don't even know how they got this in the press. This is so dumb. Brigitte Macron comes out and says they have offered scientific evidence to the U.S. court to prove that Brigitte is a woman. That's what her lawyer says. Well, the lawyer's a liar because we haven't even started this case yet. So how could you have offered scientific proof to a court to prove you're a woman, especially because you're not suing me over the claim that I said you were born a man? You were born a man. Oh, I guess you're born a boy, a male is what I should say. You're born a male. And you've never sued anybody for making that statement. You sue for things around it. You're suing me because you're saying, well, you said I stole the identity from my sister. I'm not a thief. You've never sued anybody for the claim that you were born male. So I don't know what this is. Just like we're just going to all hound Candace to try to distract her from looking into Charlie Kirk's murder and assassination. But it's focusing me more. Because this is not normal. Like the amount of lying that's happening right now is because you don't think I'm strong enough to handle it and you're trying to break me. You're not going to break me, okay? I watched him catch a bullet in the throat and we're being lied to by everybody about who was involved, why it happened, and why you are attacking the people who are, the person rather, who is trying to investigate it. You're not a good friend, they say, if you investigate this. Now they're running the, how dare you get clicks for investigating it? What? This is my show. How dare you get clips for even talking about me talking about it? You morons. You guys think we're that stupid? How dare Candace get clicks as we get clicks off of Candace getting clicks? It's so asinine. You're so stupid. And the entire world is watching. And that's what's problematic. Left and right, we are realizing something more sinister happened. We're not taking the MAGA bait. The dad MAGA. He's been more MAGA than ever. One of the commenters pointed out, why would the dad suddenly be more MAGA than ever? Like, what happened recently? Like, we're in September. Like, what happened that someone would commit themselves further to Trump, more MAGA than ever? In fact, it's been kind of the opposite. People think we're occupied by Zionists. More MAGA people are going like, it seems like Trump has kind of given up on free speech and his administration seems to be controlled by Bibi Netanyahu. So that doesn't ring true either. And then it's like, oh, over here, the trans. Neither. Left and right, we're paying attention and we're looking up at who rules over us, and it's not a pretty picture. I'm going to get to your guys' comments. Obviously, we've just covered a lot here. First, I'm going to tell you about Tax Network USA, because if you are stressed about back taxes, maybe you missed the April deadline or your books are a mess, you don't have to wait. The IRS is cracking down. The penalties add up fast. 5% per month, up to 25% just for not filing, but there is help. Tax Network USA can take the burden off your shoulders, and they can stop the spiral before it gets any worse. They have helped thousands of Americans. So whether you're an employee, a small business owner, or you haven't filed in years, they've seen everything and they know exactly how to clean it up. With direct access to powerful IRS programs and expert negotiators on your side, Tax Network USA knows how to help you win. You'll get a free consultation. If you qualify, they may even be able to reduce or eliminate what you owe. And more importantly, they will help protect you from wage garnishments or bank levies. So don't wait for the next IRS letter. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Candace, because you may have missed the tax deadline, but you have not run out of options. Let Tax Network USA help. Again, the number is 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Candace. Also, telling you about home title lock, because if you are a homeowner, you should listen to this. The FBI has been warning homeowners about a type of real estate fraud that's on the rise, which is title theft. This type of theft does not happen by breaking down your doors and stealing your stuff. It happens with a one-page document with a forged signature that gets filed at the county. If your title, that's the legal record of ownership, gets transferred out of your name, criminals are using your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your property, and you won't even know about it until we start getting collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock so that you can protect your equity. And find out today if you're already a victim. You can use my promo code Candace at HometitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, which is 24/7 monitoring of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes. And if fraud occurs, their US-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Candace, or use the link below. Telling you guys also about Nimi Skincare, because for those of you that are wondering, you guys already know how I keep my skin looking healthy, clear, and glowing. My answer is simple: Nimi Skincare. If your skin is starting to show signs of aging, fine lines creeping in, skin starting to sag, a tired, uneven look, a loss of that youthful glow, then you need to try Nimi's anti-aging skincare line. Their products have worked wonders on me. Nimi's 3-step anti-aging routine is packed with powerful, clinically backed ingredients that work. This routine restores your skin barrier, it boosts collagen production, it reduces fine lines and wrinkles, it locks in moisture, and it brightens for a healthy glow. And here's what I love most. Not only do the products deliver results, but it's also proudly American-made. Every formula is crafted right here in the USA, rivaling the best Korean skincare brands in quality while staying true to our values of faith, family, and freedom. Right now, Nimi is giving my listeners 15% off your order if you use code Candace15 at checkout. But this offer ends this weekend, so don't wait. Go to NimiSkincare.com today. Stock up on their 3-step anti-aging routine and see the results for yourself. Support a brand that shares your values and take care of your skin at the same time. Visit NimiSkincare.com, code Candace15 at checkout. All right, Steve Carrington, thank you for the $20. He writes that this is for the Ackman Fighting Fund. And but he won't sue because then he will get cross-examined and he won't risk it because perjury equals jail. I don't know, man. The fact that Brigitte is suing, this is what they do. Like I said, it's just what they do. You know, they've got people in their back pocket, lawyers, corrupt lawyers doing their bidding. I mean, they created the system and then they mock us for participating in the system. Like I told you, Bill Ackman at this Hamptons retreat, according to one of the attendees, told them that they shouldn't even aspire to own a home and they should just give money to stocks. Like, okay, I'm sure you own no homes. They just want to turn us all into slaves. Like, truly, that's what I believe about the billionaire class, of what they actually want out of us, which is just for us to work forever and to own absolutely nothing. Krista Young, thank you for the donation. Candace, something is not right, Krista writes. You are going to uncover the truth. They messed up and we are here for it. Charlie said once, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. We don't know, but we know, so do not stop asking questions. Yeah, there is a reason they're doing this. They want, like, oh, just not until there's this memorial thing in Arizona, which is not a funeral. It's a memorial event, okay? That is, by the way, in large part, from what I understand, being controlled by the White House. Trump is controlled by Zionists. So they're like baiting me here. Why would I be invited by anyone in Trump's Zionist administration as I am speaking about topics that I am speaking? It's common sense. They're not going to allow me to share the stage, right? This is, what was it, Michael Malice, am I getting the name right? When he was going on his rant, if you watch the rest of it, when he says something's not right, he says people who are close to Trump in the first administration cannot get close to him. He's like surrounded at this moment. Michael Savage, pardon. And he's telling the truth, okay? I feel like we're an occupied nation. It's got nothing to do. First off, the memorial is also an open event, so that is even crazy. But this is their sync line done, right? They're, oh, Mike, well, are you speaking? Are you one of the 5 people that's speaking at this event? No, I'm not. And guess what? That's not going to stop me from looking into this and understanding what exactly it is that happened. You're trying to make us move on because you know that you messed up. You know you messed up and it's got something to do with the clothing. That was the Fed mistake. And we're going to keep uncovering things. Lulu, thank you so much for the big donation. She writes, Candace, you stay strong. I believe Charlie is watching from heaven. I do too. And